such a president of a Rotary Club of Quetta, Assistant Governor, Regional Secretary Bulugistan, Co-Chair, Membership Attraction and Engagement Committee, name a few. He was also member of the National Polio Plus Committee for several years, and just recently, he was a zone coordinator for Polio Plus Committee. He is a major donor and also Paul Harris Fellow. In his non-Rotarian life, he is a civil engineer working for a government of Bulugistan, managing various aspects of road construction projects. He is married to Shabana Salem and he has 3 daughters and 1 son. With you guys, Saleem Raza.
Thank you, Alonso, for a very brief and very concise introduction. I'm rather flattered by whatever you have said. Thank you very much. And with the permission of host, I would like to start the presentation.
Saleem, you can share the screen.
Yes, I am doing it. Can you see it now? It's okay. So I'm going to go through slides and describe whatever we did in Egypt. Egypt, we planned a fellowship visit, and it was held during the month of April for 7 days, from 4th of April to 11th of April. This is a presentation by me, Rotarian Saleem Raza. I'm a member of Rotary Quetta Cosmopolitan, Pakistan. I'm also a zonal coordinator for polio eradication on behalf of Rotary. The good news is that during this year, we just have 1 case of polio, and hopefully we are very close to eradicate it in next 2 or 3 years. So hopefully our country will be polio free as well, courtesy of Rotary and all other stakeholders. 2 of our Rotarians, Rizwan and the people who were behind the organization of this trip. They are both from the city of Lahore, and the group was composed of about 60 Rotarians from different clubs of District 3271 and 3272. For your information, and perhaps you would be knowing that we are having 2 districts in Pakistan. The Rotarians who joined this fellowship visit were from Karachi, Nawab Shah, Lahore, Islamabad, Peshawar, and Quetta. You can see from the map that I highlighted the cities from which these Rotarians came to join the group. They were from all. You can see that the spread of clubs is from different parts of the country. So the number of visitors were included from all parts of the country, and it was a very group which joined together to travel to Egypt. As you know, because being in this ITFH, everybody knows that a lot of preparation has to be carried out before you take up any trip, more so during this COVID season. After completing prerequisite that included visa, hotel reservation, COVID vaccination, the journey started from 3 places. In fact, Lahore, Islamabad, and Karachi. And but arrival time at Cairo airport was almost within 1 and 2 hours of one. So we arrived at airport at around noon on that date. These are two pictures which are taken by our colleagues and Rotarians. One is a group photo and the other is mine with a fellow Rotarian. Both the photographs are in the lounge of Cairo airport, which was a beautiful airport. You can see the sculpture behind it. Mine picture, it is golden plated. It's not golden plated perhaps, but it has got the golden color and it was beautiful and we really liked it. We visited 3 cities in Egypt, which I have highlighted. You can see one of them is Cairo, of course, where we landed. And then second one was Alexandria and third one was Sharm el-Sheikh. During the course of my presentation, we'll go into details of some of the sites which we visited and about the city itself, focusing on the pics which we took. And the visit which was facilitated on Egypt's side by host clubs. There was one club in Cairo and then 3 clubs in Alexandria and 1 club in Sharm el-Sheikh. They entertained us in facilitating with lunch, dinner, and conversation. And in slides later on, I tell you what we actually when we left the airport, and they took us for lunch, which we enjoyed very much. And later on, I will tell you a little bit about the dishes which are popular in Egypt. After lunch, we were taken to the hotel, which was Holiday Inn. It is located on the river Nile. On the left pic, you can see the entrance of the hotel. At the right side of pic, which I took from my window, it is the beautiful view of River Nile from my room where I was staying. And it was excellent hotel with all the facilities, good staff, and which made us our visit, our stay very
Stayed in
comfortable.
Cairo, arrived around noon, went straight for lunch. After lunch, checked.
Thank you. So after a bit of rest, which was necessary because after a very long flight, it was about for 6 hours, we had lunch and then we relaxed. But and cruise night was arranged. The cruise is a very popular thing in Egypt. This cruise included an open buffet dinner as well as Sufi dancing and ballet dancing performances. The next day was a visit to the pyramids. As you would be knowing that pyramid most important historic site visit for any tourist who is visiting Cairo or Egypt. These pyramids are ancient masonry structures located in Egypt. Originally, the color of the pyramids was white, but in due course of time, due to weathering effect, it has turned into light brown. Most of these were built as tombs for the country's pharaohs and their consorts during the Old and Middle Kingdom periods. Perhaps the most famous monuments in the world, the pyramids of Giza, which were at a distance of about 2 hours from our hotel, and we traveled to that site by bus. It was a luxury bus, and it took us about 2 hours to reach that place. Due to constraint in time, we were allowed to move around for only 2 hours, but 2 hours were good enough to have a good view, a good sightseeing, and everything which was there. in the pyramids. We could not go inside because then it would have taken us more than 4 hours to stay inside. But from outside, most of us went right up to top. This is reminiscent of that visit, and you can see most of the Rotarians which were with us in front of one of the pyramids. This is a professional photography by a professional photographer, and it looks like that I am touching the top of the pyramid. Obviously, this is not so, but the angle of picture is such that it looks as I'm touching the top of the pyramid. It cost me a lot of money, but I think it was worth it because you can see the entrance of the pyramid as well, which is in the middle and the top, which I am supposed to be touching. Second important point is the Sphinx, which is located in the vicinity of these pyramids in Gaza. And the story goes that when Napoleon Bonaparte conquered this Egypt, he was not very happy with this structure and he tried to destroy it. And in the process, he just managed to damage the nose. Authenticity of this story cannot be proved, but this is what we were told, this what we heard around that place. And if you go to Cairo and you don't visit museum, then you must have, you would be perhaps leaving a lot of things. But one thing which we missed was that the museum which we visited is an old one. And on that very day or after 2 days, a new museum was being inaugurated. From this museum to the new one. We could not go to the new museum because that was not open at that point of time. But in the old museums, there were so many things which kept us busy for about 2 or 3 hours. And we were fascinated by the artifacts which were available. And most important of them was mummies. You can see in this picture 2 mummies which were available at that time. They were not shifted. And this is the mummies of 2. One is male and other is the female. And you can appreciate the kind of medicinal knowledge which was prevalent at that time, which helped in preserving these bodies, and they are still there after about 5,000 years. So it is really magnificent, and it is a wonder in itself. Next thing was the Citadel. The Citadel of Cairo, Citadel of Saladin, is a medieval by Salahuddin Ayyubi and further developed by subsequent rulers. It was the seat of government in Egypt and the residence of its rulers for about 700 years. You can see the beautiful citadel in the background with our group standing in front of it, and myself standing in front of a pic of Salahuddin, who is sitting on throne, and it depicts the kind of miniaturization which was prevalent at that time and how good they were in their work. Inside the citadel, it is beautiful, and if you go inside, and you will see in a small presentation in pictorial form, which will in fact sort of clips, which I'll show you at the end of my presentation. Next day, we went to Alexandria. We started early in the morning and arrived in about 2 hours' time to Alexandria. Alexandria is the 3rd largest city in Egypt, It was founded by Alexander the Great. There are so many sites in Alexandria which are to be visited, but we could visit only 3 sites. One of them is Citadel of Qaitbay. The Citadel of Qaitbay, or the fort of Qaitbay, is 15th century defensive fortress located in the Mediterranean Sea coast in Alexandria. It was built in 1477. You can see the backdrop of it, and with few of our Rotarians standing. It is such a huge place that it requires an entire day if you want to enjoy the most of it. But just in 2 hours, we had glimpses of most of the sites, and we enjoyed it thoroughly. Next is the Serapeum and Pompey's Pillar. It's a misnomer. It's not Pompey's Pillar. In fact, the name is misleading, as they say. The single column standing on a rocky hilltop in the middle of Alexandria has nothing to do with the Roman consul in general, Gaius Pompey. This legend was started by crusaders who thought that the 100 feet red aswan granite pillar marked his burial site. It is a magnificent site. It is located on the top of a hill, which can be accessed from different sides. You can walk and you can go through steps, and it is really enjoyable, and it is history, and you can appreciate the type of construction which was carried out at that point of time, how it was brought from place, and how it was laid here. It is left to the imagination of people. But it is the site of the Serapeum, which is
The
also
Serapeum
called
and
the
Pompey's Pillar. I
Alexandria
will read you what he has on the slide.
Next day was a trip to Sharm el-Sheikh. Sharm el-Sheikh, it's quite far off from Cairo, as you can see from the map below, that we start from Cairo and we cross Suez Canal, goes through Sinai Peninsula, and eventually arrive at in the city of Sharm el-Sheikh. Sharm el-Sheikh is an Egyptian resort town between desert of the Sinai Peninsula and the Red Sea. It is known for its sheltered sandy beaches, clear waters, and coral reefs. From Cairo to Sharm el-Sheikh, we traveled by bus, and it was 7 hours trip. We started early in the morning and arrived there around noon. This is a panoramic view of the city, and you can see how beautiful it is. This is one of the beaches which we visited, and it provided all sorts of activities which there are on the beach. The water is neat, clean, and you can see deep inside. And there was a facility of submarine, so we enjoyed the trip under the surface of water and saw the marine life, fish and everything. And there were water sports. Some of our Rotarians enjoyed them as well. You will be able to watch those sports in the clips which I'll show you later on. This is a big city and people come here for tourism, but during this time, because of the COVID, we were told that number of tourists has been reduced to nil almost, but still there were many, and we missed the people which were supposed to be there. And I hope as the conditions are improving, they will have more tourists. The Al-Sahaba Mosque, this is a beautiful mosque which was built after Israelis left the peninsula, and Egyptian architect Fuad Tawfiq, he designed it free of charge. And the cost of the construction was about 30 million Egyptian pounds. It took it about 6 years to complete. And during the night, because of the reflection of lights which are all over the mosque, it gives a splendid view. It's a view to watch during the night, and it is very enjoyable as well. The next thing, which is very important and very interesting part of the visit, was desert safari. As you would be knowing perhaps that Egypt is famous for safari tourism with its fascinating desert and mountainous areas of different colors and shapes. There are many beautiful oases that intervene the mountains, providing fun and adventures for safari tourists. These are a few pictures of the safari. On the left, you can see myself with 4 of my fellow Rotarians. On the other picture, the whole group of Rotarians, they are riding special vehicles, custom built, and it lasted for about 3 to 4 hours, and we traveled through desert and mountainous areas and stopped at one place which was meant for a little bit of rest and to enjoy a cup of tea. You can see me sitting there in that sort of tent. It was very comfortable, and the tea which was served really helped in reducing the stress which we had undergone in safari. The main purpose or main thing which was precipitated this visit was the fellowship visit. As I've already told that there were 1 club in Cairo and 3 clubs in Alexandria and 1 club in Sharm el-Sheikh. So we exchanged MOUs with these clubs, signed training certificates with them, and they entertained with us with lunch and dinner or whatever time it was, and there was a lot of fellowship. This is the Rotary Club Cairo South, and you can see one gentleman which is standing on with so many labels on his dress. This is a Rotarian, very famous Rotarian from Pakistan, and he has been to most of the international conventions and conferences, and he's collected all the labels, and he has worn them in a dress made out for that purpose, and he takes this dress to wherever it goes, and it's really a good view to see. So he is one of the members, and you can see the signing activity going on. This is also the Rotarian from Karachi and Lahore. They are exchanging flags. There's a RC Club Alexandria. The same thing is happening here. And this is Alexandria Cosmopolitan. This is Alexandria Capital. This is signing of MOU between the 2 clubs. And this is the outcome of the signing ceremony. And this is the picture with organizer, man in black jacket. He was the person who arranged the visit in Alexandria and facilitated us to meet the clubs in Alexandria. He's also a Rotarian from Egypt, but basically he's from Pakistan but has settled in Egypt. This is Rotary Club Sharm el-Sheikh, and without mentioning the Egyptian cuisine, the visit cannot be complete and cannot be over. The Egyptian cuisine is underrated as compared to Lebanese one, but still it is very tasty. All the dishes which are shown here, we tried them and we enjoyed them. They are different and they are mostly from Egyptian origin, and they are available almost in any restaurant. They are roadside or otherwise. So you can enjoy this cuisine wherever you go. The popular drink in Egypt is tea. It is also their national drink. Coffee is also part of the traditional welcome. But another traditional drink is called khadi. It is made from boiling dried red hibiscus flowers. The water is then chilled, sugar is added, and this drink can also be enjoyed hot as an herbal tea. After that, it was end of a trip. After 7 nights and 6 days, the back journey started. But in a country like Egypt, which is full of history and culture, 7 or 6 days is not enough time to spend. If you plan for a longer time, and better to stay in just one place instead of going all around, because if you go all around, you spend so much time in traveling instead of visiting sites, which are so many that you really miss them after you have finished the visit. This is the link which I'm going to show you. It is available on FB. I hope that you will enjoy the clip.
Hi, Madhu. Are you able to share the video?
Yeah, I'm sharing.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, come in. Come in. Come in. Yeah, come in. Come in. Don't worry.
Those of you who are not speaking, could you please mute yourself? Thank you.
Can you see it?
No, we're seeing just the link. Maybe Madhu, you could try it.
Hi, I'm Sita from Nepal. Namaste.
Okay, I'm having a problem here. If you can probably see that.
No, Saleem, I cannot click on it. You need to click on it and then, show the video.
Okay. Yesterday, Simi had to cut and paste the link because apparently from the PowerPoint it will not play.
So Saleem has to do that. He has to copy it and he has to open it in a new browser and then, click it.
Okay. Okay, while Saleem is trying to do that, perhaps Alonso can check on the questions and answers that some of the people that are participating have written in the chat. Alonso, it's all yours temporarily.
Yes, Saleem. While we are stopping for the video starting, would you answer to us what was the most fun moment of the trip?
Okay, I'm gonna try.
Saleem, have you heard me?
I guess he's trying to see if he can share the video.
Oh, okay.
So let's try something else while he works on that.
I don't know why it's not sharing, because I'm trying to click on Zoom and.
Okay, well, since we were able to show the video in the previous presentation yesterday, apologize to all of those of you who are here because it really was a wonderful video. So perhaps you can take a look at it when we upload it to the webpage into the Facebook page, which Madhu will probably do within the next 24 hours. So we will do that. So let's go back to the full screen and so we can see each other. Madhu, please.
Okay, Saleem. Meanwhile, we have some questions to you.
Yeah, you have to stop sharing, Saleem.
Okay, okay. Okay. Yes, I'm ready for questions, please.
Saleem, you have to
Hello.
stop sharing.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Okay.
Saleem.
I'm
Okay.
sorry for that. I could not open the link, but you can watch it and you will enjoy it.
No problem. On the recorded version on the web will be the video. So Saleem, would you answer some question to us? Was there any astonishing moment or unexpected learning during the trip that made the trip even more special?
Yeah. There were so many things, in fact. First of all, we were not ready to get up early in the morning, which we were made to, as we did not know that it is going to take such a long journey every day, 7 hours. So it was quite astonishing, but it was interesting as well. Some people, some of our Rotarians, they got disturbed by this, but eventually it resulted in something which we enjoyed, especially the trip from Cairo to Sharm el-Sheikh, because we crossed the whole of this peninsula, and it's full of history. So in New Testament, Old Testament, in Quran, and all the religious book, it has been reflected. So it turned out in a sort of blessing in disguise, because we saw so many places which we otherwise would not have been able to do. And especially this trip through Peninsula was very interesting. And we tried to go right up to the what is called the Mountain of Moses, but it was not possible because it was meant to be for about 24 hours travel time from ground to that point. So we had to leave it.
On the programs you showed to us, there are homestay, also hotel stay. What do you recommend to us?
I recommend that, as I said, that instead of spreading the trip to whole of the country, you just concentrate on one site which you want to visit. So it will be more enjoyable, like cruise. We just took a cruise for about 4 hours, but there are cruises which are available for 6 days, 6 nights. And if you go to Sharm el-Sheikh, that is a place to stay for 3 years, 4 days. And there are so many places to enjoy there. Likewise, in Cairo, it's all history. If you go to one place, you have to spend at least 1 day. Like if you go to pyramids, if you have to go inside the pyramid, it will take about 3 to 4 hours to enjoy the entire city. So it will be better that you plan your visit in such a way that you stay in one place and enjoy the whole of it. And the one thing which you said, this COVID thing, we were not told, in fact, when we went there, that on our way back, we will also be required these COVID tests. So we were really disturbed. And because the cost of the COVID test in Egypt was about $150. So it was a shock to everybody, and it really disturbed our budget. And but it had to be done. It had to be done. So I had to do it, and we had to leave some perhaps shopping, enjoyment to go through this test.
No,
So
that's the
when
moment we're living.
yeah.
I have another question. What
Yeah.
are the service activities the local clubs would provide to us?
Excuse me? What did you say?
Services activities the local clubs, the local Rotary clubs can.
Local Rotary clubs, they in fact, they facilitated the information, in fact, that where to stay, where to go, what are the places to enjoy, how much, who are the travel agents over there, and they facilitate in their meetings. And it was sort of fellowship with Egyptian Rotarians. And we signed MOUs for any future project or joint projects we may carry out, like in health sector or education sector. So they were very excited about these projects. So some of us are working on it. So maybe eventually we are able to get some global grant or something like that. And clubs in Pakistan and Egypt, they can go together in that sense. But they are very helpful in that sense.
If you would decide about only one moment, which one is the most fun moment in the trip?
Oh, that's a very difficult question because there were so many moments. There are some, but obviously, when we visited Sharm el-Sheikh and we took this submarine trip, it was very enjoyable. We went undersea and we watched the marine life, and it lasted for about 2 hours. So it was very, very enjoyable. That was the, I think, best part of our trip in Sharm el-Sheikh. Besides,
would you tell us about the budget we expect to spend in a trip like that?
Well, in terms of dollars, it cost us, in Pakistani rupees, it cost us 250,000. So if you convert it into dollars, it will be about $2,000. $2,000.
$2,000.
Yeah, including everything, because what, except shopping, of course.
Sure.
Yeah.
Alonso, one question from Paz District Governor Doug. That is, usually on these exchanges, travelers are home hosted by Rotary friends. But you mentioned hotels. So was there no home hosting then?
No, yes, he is very right that in some parts of the world and mostly in our country as well, that whenever there is a visit, there is home hosting. But in this trip, there was no home hosting. Either we did not try for it, or perhaps we did not go for it. Mostly, if it was because it was a big group, about 60 to 70 people, so the people prefer to stay in hotels instead of staying in so many different places. That could have been a problem in logistics and traveling and then getting together, maybe. Because Cairo is such a big city, maybe if 60 persons are staying in different places, it would have been a problem for logistics. If I go myself, perhaps I may be able to stay with someone. I will be invited to stay, yes.
Okay, Madhu, we have explored all the questions, so if you are able to conduct us to the rooms.
The break rooms?
Yep.
To the break rooms we go. Let's see how it works this time. If you find yourself alone, just move to another break room.
Okay. I'll try to open the link if that opens.
Okay, do it.
Okay, so let's do the break room and then you do the link, okay? Or are we?
Hello, Jackie. Hello, June. Cecile. We can't see your faces.
Correct.
Yeah. Hey, Madhu. Hey, Barbara.
Are you recording us, Madhu? So you
Hello.
are bringing more privacy.